Imagine a small bakery nestled in the heart of a bustling city. Each morning, Sarah, the baker, rises before dawn to craft her pastries. The scent of freshly baked bread fills the air as customers line up, eager to start their day with her buttery croissants. Sarah's goal, like many producers, is to maximize her profit. She carefully calculates the cost of ingredients, the hours she spends baking, and the price customers are willing to pay. But is profit truly the only thing driving Sarah's decisions? Let's step into the shoes of one of her customers, Emma. Emma works long hours and loves to treat herself to a croissant every Friday. Economists might say Emma is trying to maximize her utility, making decisions that bring her the greatest happiness or satisfaction within her budget. But what if Emma sometimes chooses a slightly less tasty croissant from another bakery because she knows that bakery donates a portion of its profits to charity? Is Emma really just maximizing her utility, or is something deeper at play? For decades, the traditional view in economics has painted consumers and producers as rational actors, laser focused on maximizing their utility and profit, respectively. It's a neat and tidy model, but like most simplifications, it has its flaws. Real life, after all, is anything but neat and tidy. Take Sarah again. One day, she notices a small farmer struggling to sell organic flour at the local market. The flour is pricier than what Sarah usually buys, but she decides to purchase it anyway, knowing it supports sustainable farming practices. From a profit maximization perspective, this choice doesn't make sense. But Sarah isn't just a profit seeker, she's a person with values, emotions, and connections to her community. Critiques of the maximizing behavior model often start with its assumption that individuals have perfect information. In reality, both consumers and producers operate in a fog of uncertainty. Emma doesn't always know which bakery uses better ingredients or offers a fairer price. Sarah, on the other hand, might not fully understand how demand for her croissants will shift if a new bakery opens nearby. Decisions are often made with incomplete knowledge, relying on intuition, habits, or social influences. Another critique lies in the assumption that preferences are stable and predictable. Economists assume Emma will always choose the option that brings her the most satisfaction. But what if Emma's choices are influenced by a persuasive advertisement, a friend's recommendation, or even her mood on a rainy morning? Human behavior is dynamic and context dependent, often shaped by factors far beyond the narrow lens of utility or profit. Then there's the issue of externalities. When Sarah uses cheaper, non-organic flour, she may reduce her costs and maximize her profit. But this choice might contribute to environmental degradation or harm small-scale farmers. These hidden costs borne by society rather than the decision maker challenge the idea that maximizing behavior always leads to optimal outcomes. Similarly, when Emma drives across town to save a few dollars on a croissant, she might be maximizing her utility, but at what cost? The additional fuel consumption adds to her expenses and contributes to pollution. These unintended consequences remind us that maximizing individual outcomes doesn't always align with the broader good. Behavioral economics further complicates the picture. Studies have shown that humans are often irrational, driven by biases and heuristics. For instance, Emma might pay more for a croissant simply because it's labeled artisan, even if it tastes the same as a regular one. Sarah might hesitate to raise her prices out of fear of losing loyal customers, even if data suggests they'd happily pay more. These insights challenge the traditional notion of rational actors. Instead, they reveal a more nuanced reality where decisions are influenced by psychology, culture, and social norms. But does this mean the idea of maximizing behavior should be discarded entirely? Not necessarily. The concept provides a useful framework for understanding economic interactions. It's a starting point, a lens through which we can analyze markets and predict trends. However, it's just that, a starting point. To fully understand human behavior, we must embrace its complexity, acknowledging that people are driven by more than just cold calculations of profit or utility. As we leave the bakery, let's imagine Sarah and Emma in a different light. Sarah isn't just a producer, she's a steward of her community, balancing her desire for profit with her commitment to sustainability and quality. Emma isn't just a consumer, she's a participant in a broader social and environmental ecosystem, making choices that reflect her values and constraints. In this story, maximizing behavior isn't a rigid rule, but a flexible guideline. It reminds us to look beyond the numbers and consider the human stories behind every transaction. Because in the end, economics isn't just about goods and services, it's about people and the complex, beautiful ways they navigate the world. So, next time you sip your coffee or buy a croissant, remember, behind every decision is a story that goes beyond maximization. It's a reminder that the heart of economics lies not in formulas, but in understanding the humanity that drives them.